Hey guys, we're here with a special guest, Sean, who finished first place at the Denver Regional with White Forest. So definitely a huge congrats to you. What are your thoughts on this deck for this new format post-ban list?
I think White Forest is one of the best decks, if not the best deck for this format. I know we're kind of in like a in between from the ban list to when we get Allen. I think once we get Allen, Malice probably then becomes the best deck, just because that support's pretty crazy. But White Forest is still getting a boost in Allen as well, and it is still incredibly strong.
Awesome. Well, let's get right to the list then.
Alrighty, I'll start with the main deck. So for the White Forests, I went with 3 LZ. This is probably like one of your best starters and extenders. It can start your plays and also extend your plays if your Sylvie gets hand trapped. It's just you max out on it. I'm running 2 LZ Azamina, and this card a lot of people are playing one, but I decided that I've been really liking two. One, if you get hand trapped or interrupted, it's good to already have it because this is most of the time what you're trying to search to start your plays, just because it gives you so much free advantage and whatnot. And it also being just an extender if you are trying to go for like Fiendsmith lines and stuff. So two is really good. I wouldn't ever go back to one. We are on 3 Sylvie. Sylvie is also one of your starters. So Sylvie, Elzette, Diabellstar, and Wanted are all a one card full combo. One card, it's White Forest. You have to like pitch cards, but you open that card and you get to do the whole thing. Um, and so you want to max out on this as well. And this is also probably one of your safer summons. Like if you summon this and you get hand trapped, you don't actually lose a card because you don't have to pitch for cost. And you already have a tuner on board. So like I said, if you open this and they imperm this, you still have like everything. Um, and then one Rusia. This card is also just incredible extender. It's accessible, and that's it for the White Forest monsters. And then I play one Tails, one SSWF, and one Woes. So a lot. I swap back and forth one and two of this card. It's just the list was pretty tight this go around, and so I'm on one. This searches you a White Forest. This is part of your main combo. It lets you fusion summon into Saint Azamina. And there's certain cases where if you had to like normal summon a Lacrima or you had to play weird, you can use this to summon like Sylvie out of the hand and then go from there as well. And then Woes is what I'm always trying to get. I'm always trying to search it as my first search if I can, like if my hand lines out, like I have the pieces, or if I open if I open Elzamina, instead of searching Tails off of Sylvie, I can search this, and if I get rolled, then I still retain a minimum a Book of Eclipse on my opponent's turn. So I really like Woes still in the deck. A lot of people are switching it to apps. The way I feel about apps is if you are already comboing, then yes, apps is on, and it's a good card. But my thought is, I want a still very good card. But if I wasn't able to combo or they hand trap me out of like doing anything, and so these are my 3 White Forest spells and traps for this list. Next, on to the Sinful Spoils. We're on 3 Diabellstars, and 3 Wanteds. Like I said, each one of these, if you open either of them with any other monster, it is the full board that I'm trying to go for. We go one Deception. I'm on like 1 to 2, like I'm back and forth on 1 to 2 of this as well, because it's also just another thing that's really nice. If this gets interrupted, it just helps you still have more plays. But right now with Detonator still running around, it just doesn't play as well into him as I like. So the one Hallowed, and then also I decided to play a Symbol Spoils of Slumber Morian. My thought behind this was this card is always like I don't have any requirements for this to be able to be used. It targets an opponent's special summon monster and Book of Moons it. And so my thought is if I get drolled, I have 6 ways to extend through that droll, either having this in my hand or having this I can chain to the draw, or if I did this in the draw phase, however the turn played out. Diabellstar can set this, and that's still an interruption. And then any other body, I can go into Fiendsmith combo. So I can go Fiendsmith combo plus a Book of Moon, which is what I thought was good enough because this deck's only real problem anymore is roll. Like it can play around / through anything else, especially since Shifter went to 1. That was another hard hit on this deck, but that doesn't have to really happen anymore, which is nice. And the other nice thing about this can still be paid as cost for your White Forests to retain card advantage. If you control level 5 or illusion, it'll set itself. So it's like one of the higher impact simple spoils you can set. That's it for that engine. We're going to go on to the Fiendsmiths. I played 2 Engraver, 1 Lacrimont, and 1 Sanct. This is the same as my last regional win, and the YCS win, not win, YCS top I had with White Forest. I don't think I'm ever going to play a tracked Orrery in the deck, just because I'm not trying to open the Engraver. Like, opening the Engraver is still fine. It's nice. It's Fiendsmith combo. But I just wanted a search target that's good enough. And technically, this is still full Fiendsmith combo under droll. Like, if I go Engraver pitch at this and they droll me, then I can still make a Desiree and do everything. If you added track, you are having issues. But most of the time, I'm comboing through Moon. And so this is the package I went with. And having 2, you can get away with 1. Having 2 is nice because sometimes you'll have it in hand, or there's some lines where you are like down a Light Fiend, because if you open this in like Lacrima, it makes it awkward. So 2 means that you're going to always be able to do the thing. And then I also opted to play toys for this event. I know a lot of people are toys are weird for some people, but my thoughts were, because most of the time I play this deck as a board breaker deck, but I went for hand traps this go around just because the water board and the blue eyes combo board I was not able to beat with board breakers. Like, I had to open like droplet evenly for blue eyes, and that's not a high percentage. Or against water, I have to open exactly dark ruler or droplet to out the barrier statue, because it can't be targeted. So that's also something I didn't want to like play around with. And so if I'm discarding cards out of my hand, all the White Forest have to pay cost. Diabellstar has to pay cost with stuff. So I was like, this gives me like 6 free cards. It's a free card. It sets 2 free cards, which also give you 2 free bodies. So like the toy engine was honestly phenomenal for the event. It not being once per turn, and it just giving you so many free cards. Like, this gets you Sylvie if you have a toy box, so it helps you get into combo. And then my opponents just had to interact with it all day, and it just lets you play through an unnecessary amount of interruptions. That's it for engine. I'll go for non-engine. I'm on 3 Fua, 3 Droll, and 3 Nibiru. These are the hand traps I decided I needed to help me against the format. Fua, Droll, or Nib are all good against water, as well as Blue Eyes. If you're against Blue Eyes, you can just nib their second spirit, and that deals with pretty much most of what I needed to deal with, because the engine is still very strong at playing through interruptions, especially with the toy cards. And so all of these were super nice. I don't think I missed anything. A lot of people were asking me if I missed Ash on Fua. I don't really care about Fua. I have plenty of lines that can do like 1-2 draws that still set up a bunch of stuff. Or if I know the matchup, like we're post game 1, and I know Saint Azamina is like a hard counter to that deck, I'll just push through the Fua, and they have to have a droplet or they lose. And then I played 3 droplet because this card still helps me deal with all the issues I was having, and it's still just a really good card to set as well. And then I have 1 cross out, 1 call by, and 1 talents. For obvious reasons, they're all 1. And I normally don't have crossouts in my deck, but I figured it's a 1 of now, and I am main decking the things that I would care about. So that's it for the main deck. It is 45 cards. It worked out really well, honestly. I don't know. I've been trying to think if there was anything I'd really change, but For this specific list, I don't think so. I am trying to test for post Allen, but for this list and for like the next couple weeks, I think that's just what I'm going to be on. For the extra deck, we've got one of each of the White Forest synchros. You don't need one more than one. They're all recyclable. For the Azaminas, we've got Moo, Sylvia, Saint, and Regina. A lot of people were asking how much I actually use these, and my answer is every single game. Every time I was able to play, this is what I was going into. The combo is you kind of get this out and this out, kind of getting your resources, doing your thing, and then you get to have the Hallowed back in hand, and you have searched the Sinful Spoils. You'll go activate Hallowed, chain Sinful Spoils, sending these two to fuse into your Saint. Then the Hallowed resolves, sending the Sinful Spoils to summon this. Then Saint will revive this from the extra deck, and then this can target this in the graveyard to put on the board. That is like the baseline combo, and then obviously you can add Fiendsmith into there. And this is what I was trying to do every game. Most of the time, I'll be able to have like an extra wanted that I've searched out of redundancy. This card pops too. This card prevents targeting. It's like this card was like the MVP. The entire day, I didn't attack directly to win the game once. I always just used this card's battle effect. It says your opponent takes any battle damage that you would. So if they've got big guys, like I played against Memento in the finals, they've got a 5,000 defense guy. You just summon this. You can use this to revive the level 2 that's an illusion, and you just go attack. They take 5,000. Attack. They take 5,000. So I'm not worried about clearing my opponent's board ever. I'm always worried about just playing through their interruptions while retaining the ability to do this. As soon as I've checked that they have like sent their last interruption or interaction my way, I can make this and they lose the game if they have any big monsters. Because you can go like Russia revive in the battle phase, it's 800 attack, so it's tiny. You can crash. This card was insane the entire day. I play one Matches Tortorozo because this is the card that makes Diabell Star and Wanted full combo. You have to run this. Otherwise, I would have like 7 starters in the deck instead of 12. 6 starters. Anyway, basically you go Diabell Star Wanted, and you place Deception, Tributes, any other monster besides a Diabell Star. You go Hallowed, summon Moo. Moo searches your level 2 LZ. And then you have a Fusion, because this requires a Fusion Synchro, Link, or XYZ. And then you have a Spellcaster, and it can just contact Fuse out. It's a level 4 tuner. Its effect doesn't matter. You summon Azamina, and then you can make this. That's how you get to full combo. Then I have a 5-card package for Fiendsmith. Moon to access it, the mandatories. And then I play the Agnum Day because if you open Toy Box and Fiendsmith without like any White Force cards, the DVL Star or anything, you open Toy Box and Fiendsmith Engraver. It is full White Force combo if you run Agnum Day. It is not if you don't. And then for the last 2 cards, they're like flex spots, good cards for going second. Chaos Angel and Love Knight. That is it for the extra deck. Onto the side deck, we played 3 Lancia still for Malice, for Crystron, and that's about it. But I still felt like Malice was going to be more represented than even Raziel, and it was. Malice was everywhere. I think the top cut was 4 Malice and then 4 individual other decks for top 8. I played 2 Bestials, just good cards to side in if I needed. I wanted to side this in against Blue Eyes. And like, for example, when I played Lab, I would take out like Nibiru or, some of my like hand traps that don't do anything to that and put these. So they were good cards. I played 2 Lightning Storm and a Feather Duster for Lab, back row, random stuff. I've contemplated siding this in against Blue Eyes every now and then to hit the True Light, which isn't bad, especially if you know that they're not on the combo version where they're making the Cypher, then this card becomes better. And then I play the 3D Barrier, my Power Sing Stones, and a Skill Drain. D Barrier, obviously, Power Sink Stone, and Skill Drain. It's just the four copies of Skill Drain, and you can do the Snake Eye thing where you on your next turn because you get LZ back when you do any tuner, and then LZ can just pitch this for your first play, and then you turn it off for yourself, and then you can add it back if you're in that kind of game. But just because I already have so many things in for like going second, I wanted good things to play around roll, tempi, and just random stuff to just solidify game when I'm going first. That's it for the side deck. Do you have any questions or any lines that you want to see?
No, no, no. This was amazing. Thank you so much again for the profile. Huge congrats on another top with White Forest. Clearly, you really love this deck, and it's good to see. Any last shoutouts?
Shout out to my locals. Shout out to my two judge friends that go to locals. Aaron, he was the head judge for the event, and Alex, he was the one of the floor judges for the event. Alex and Aaron helped me like kind of shoot ideas and just like talk about the deck. Also, shout outs to Cody, my friend. He was the one who actually told me to give Saint another try because I used to think this card was actually not that great because it was too hard to summon for what it did. But after like playing with it, it's felt incredible. I also found that combo that summons it for basically free. And so shout outs to those and shout outs to Nerds Kingdom for hosting the regional. Before this one and the last one they hosted, Colorado had like a void of 4 years where we didn't get any regionals. So they've brought us two in 1 year, and we actually have a third in May. So shout outs to them. And they also hosted a good event. So other than that, I don't think I have any more shout outs.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Take care.